guys, Kristin LaVanway here. So this week I am in Prescott for the Arizona Association of Realtors convention. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm up here with some of my good buddies, real estate and loan buddies, and we had this great conversation earlier today about what's going on in our current market and some tips to help buyers who might be struggling a little bit with all the competitive nature of things going on out there. So I thought I'd share some of that with you right here, right now.
We're definitely doing multiple offers on multiple homes. It's not just it's not the exception to the rule anymore.
Right. Like anything lately under 250, 300 at least has been multiple offers. We're going up against 6 different offers.
Mesa's hot.
Right.
Gilbert always hot.
Chandler, yeah.
Even if you're in Glendale and you're in that 300,000 and under range, you're still going to run into challenges.
It's so competitive and it's moving so quickly, and you need folks around you that are very well educated and out there every day working in that. And when you're ready to go, you have to have everybody in place, so that you can just jump on something. And
when you're up against multiple offers, you can with conviction say, okay, this is my lender, we're going to do a short close or accommodate whatever the seller's looking for. And how we're going to accommodate a short close is my inspector's amazing, you've probably heard them or heard of who they are, and we're going to have them schedule the next 48 hours.
I've been tightening up inspection periods quite a bit, going to 5 and 7 days if I can.
We had one the other day that the listing agent called me and he had a lot of questions. Like he had a lot of questions. And his biggest thing was he wanted to feel comfortable on a 30-day close of escrow. I told him why and how that's fine. Shar talked to, edified me. We edified her, edified the process, the borrowers. I mean, all of that stuff matters when you have one offer, but when you have 6 offers, it definitely matters.
I mean, just this week I've had multiple offers and I'm going over them. And it's not just the terms that I'm looking at. I'm actually, when I'm discussing this with my sellers, I'm saying, you know what, this agent sent over an offer. I couldn't get a hold of their lender. I called them this morning. It's 7 p.m. I still haven't heard back from their lender. So that's not a good sign. This agent missed 6 things on the contract
I have to
that they
clean
did
up
incorrectly. So I've got this big old long counter, whereas, this offer, I've talked with the agent, the lender actually picked up the phone and was able to, so it makes a difference if you have that team in place and you're doing what you need to do.
I get phone calls from people, Zillow or whatever, and they say, they think I'm the listing agent, want me to show them the house. My agent's out of town for the weekend. I don't have anybody who can show it to you, to me. And I think it's important if you're buying to know that the agent who's working for you has somebody covering them as backup if they have to see a house today.
I get several calls a week.
That's actually a sad statistic.
Wow. 5 and 10 years ago, people wanted to make the house their own. They wanted to put their own fingerprint on it. I want to do this and we can do that. And it was like part of the dream, right? To just kind of put their own spin on the home and make it unique in their own. And they don't want that anymore. They want it HGTV, just move-in ready. I want new tile, new paint, new flooring.
They watched the second half of that show. They didn't.
They forget the first part.
The first half of that show that they.
So honestly, if you are willing to kind of go in with a mindset, well, maybe I don't have, because those are the homes where we're seeing the most offers on. Like, everybody.
The ready-to-go ones.
Yeah, they all want it looking like a new build or looking and feeling new.
And for the most part, those are easy things to do once you're closed. People are painting the cabinets white or, slapping on some cheap granite and new flooring. Well, I always tell my sellers that a buyer's going to walk in and deduct twice as much as the actual cost.
Absolutely.
To make those repairs. And then even in this market, it's probably more than that, just because they don't want to mess with it, or people will, they're starting their searches online, and they're just not even going to look potentially at least as much as other properties that they would be looking at.
Start and stop at Zillow. Joke. Be real.
Zillow's a tool, right? You know, so it's fine for getting familiar with the area and the inventory and, you know, kind of the price point. You know, but you're always going to do better with information directly from a real estate agent in the market that is also able to add their expertise because they're in the market daily.
I've always likened Zillow to like what you were talking about early on.
Yeah.
Like it's just getting your feet wet. It's kind of like the window shopping.
It's getting the feel.
Getting into the mode. Like, you know, when you're traveling, like you're at if we travel, like you can do a lot of island type places, and you see the real estate offices that have all the images of the houses in the area, and they might have flyers and stuff like that. That's just for you to kind of look and see what's available. If you ever said, I didn't know that I could actually buy here, at that point you're going to call a realtor.
I always tell my buyers, you know what, let's go a little bit wider to start with at the very beginning, because I don't want you to miss something that
you would have done
that might have worked for you, and you know, you may have considered, because the buying process is usually it's some juggling of priorities. So right now at the very beginning you think that this is ideal, but as we look, you might realize I might be willing to trade this for this.
Be prepared to go in strong. If you're in a competitive market, listen to your realtor, not to your Uncle Joe who says you can get it for $20,000 less. If you've got multiple offers, you can guarantee your over asking price probably. It's really key to find out what's important to the seller. Sometimes it's not always price. You know, is it timing, or is it, you know, the possibility of a lease back? Is it
earnest deposit? Is it closing day? I mean, that's when you have a good agent that will call that listing agent and ask those 1, 2, 3 level deep questions to find out what's.
What can we do for your seller?
There's a lot of agents that will just send something over without ever talking to the listing agent or working.
You know, and that's where having it, hopefully working with a good agent is who, you know, has good connections within the real estate field, or at least a good reputation, where they've not, you know, burned bridges on the last deal. So you're not gonna. I don't want to work with you on the next one.
Yeah. Right. Yep. I think it is the fun part. I don't know why it's not the fun part. I know that the average consumer has anxiety over getting pre-qualified.
We are afraid of the word no. And so that's where that anxiety
comes
up.
And we're the people that harbor, we hold the power to crush their dreams. And that's what they think. Like if I talk to that big evil lender, like we're that big banker that sits back in the back room and smokes cigars and burns money and says no to everybody, like that's not what we're here for.
My buyers think that they know more than lenders.
Well, there's
right?
that
So they're
too.
like, I know what I qualify for. I use the calculator on the little whatever.
Like Zillow has the calculator, and other places have those calculators.
Right.
There's certain things that those calculators don't do. They all assume 20% down.
Right.
They don't assume PMI, because PMI is a sliding scale. So what'll happen is we get, especially first-time home buyers, they're like, well, that is way different than what I was expecting. By what, $217? Yes. That's one of the things that you didn't factor in.
And education is the key. For first-time home buyers, people who have been in default, bankruptcy, anything, there's lots of different programs that are out there. But again, it's finding out and being educated on what programs are available, what you need to do if you have to clean something up. We're not here to say no. We're here to give you a plan on how to get you from point A to your dream home. Don't make any financial changes at all. Always contact your lender on anything that has to do with finances.
No new cars, don't fire your boss. I don't care how many points or 10% off you get on a purchase today. Cold card, don't do it.
Do you get any gifts from your grandma for your birthday if she wants to give you a check for a couple $100s? If you're depositing any money, you're selling anything or whatever, call your lender and say, hey, I got this check, or I sold my car, or whatever. How do you want me to source this, or what do I need to do to make this easier?
Well, it's all about documenting everything. We want to make sure that the incoming money is actually being qualified for and can be utilized towards, you know, your entire bank investment that you have that we're looking at for your down payment and your closing costs.
The underwriting guidelines, they're actually loosening more than they're tightening. The trend is that it's getting easier on some of the things that were ridiculous. It's not getting any easier for credit decision. I mean, if you obviously can't qualify, it's not any easier to get qualified.
No magic pill there?
No magic pill.
No ninja loans anymore.
No ninja loans. 8 years ago, it's so much harder to get a loan. But I think people entering the market now, or people that haven't had a loan, my favorite is there's this phenomenon of people moving down now, getting out of the big house. We used to call them empty nesters, but it's not even quite that anymore. They haven't had a loan in 10 or 15 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And they may have got their loan during the time, that window of time where it was fog and mirror. And they get frustrated because I didn't have to do this last time. If you want to buy a house, do it now. Start now. Start the process now. If you have things that you need to clean up or work on, start the process now. If you're ready to go, get out with the agent now and start the process now, because values are going up, inventory's down, rates are increasing. I think that if you are even thinking about buying a house, get on it.
Yeah.
So obviously that was cocktail hour. We had to get back to it, but I hope you found those tips helpful. If you have any questions or comments, well, you know where to find me. Kristin here in Phoenix.com, that's where. Go out there and hey, head up to Prescott. It's beautiful here. Talk to you soon. And yes, I know the locals pronounce it Prescott, but I grew up on Prescott Lane in Huntington Beach, California. Old habits are hard to break.